You're listening to Haunted Moments, and I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Theresa F. Koch. Hauntings of the Poconos. The existence of paranormal activity has been heated debate over the centuries. While views of the afterlife are varied, the belief that existence does not end when the physical body dies is common. Some people believe that the soul moves on into another realm, while others believe it is reincarnated and reborn. Others still believe the spirit remains on earth, manifesting as a ghost to haunt the living. Why do people believe in a phenomena that defies all odds? How can they accept something as being real when it breaks the barriers of scientific understanding? A Harris poll conducted last November revealed that 44% of American adults believed in ghosts. The Associated Press conducted a survey showing that 23% actually have seen or been in the presence of one. The Poconos boasts its fair share of ghostly legends and folklore. Legend has it that on misty evenings in Winnonono Falls, the spirits of ill-fated lovers appear on a cliff where they had died. The Poconos became known as an established resort destination in the 20th century. By the turn of the century, nearly 500,000 people visited the area each year at popular resorts such as Pocono Manor, Shawnee Inn, Skytop, and the Inn at Black Hill Falls. Buck Hill Inn is one of the most haunted places in the Poconos and has been featured on television shows and in books for its paranormal activity. When Buck Hill opened in 1901, it was a beautiful resort that attracted legends of the tourists every season. Today, it stands vacant and dilapidated, housing only the memories of the past and, of course, several well-known ghosts. According to Pennsylvania Haunts and History, 73 people died at Buck Hill Inn. 5 people are reported to have died in room 354 alone. Among those who died in the room are Lorna Kilpatrick, a young bride who was murdered by a priest, and a maid who committed suicide. While the inn was still in operation, guests refused to stay in the room because of freezing temperatures and the objects moving around it. Eventually, the room was closed permanently. The spirit of a murdered accountant is reported to roam the basement of the inn, and one bathroom was the scene of 3 separate murders. Though the bathroom was exorcised at one point, poltergeist activity continued to be experienced there. Countless people reported supernatural activity while visiting the inn at Buck Hill Falls, causing it to be recognized as one of the most haunted places in America. It was featured on MTV's Fears series. Stoutsmore Country Inn, the Henryville Inn, the Inn at Tannersville, and Skytop Inn are among other resorts that are allegedly haunted in the area. One of the most famous paranormal events in the Poconos took place on Ann Street, Stoutsburg in 1983. David and Charles tell the story of Pocono poltergeist in their book, Pocono Ghosts, Legends and Lore. According to several reports, a 20-year-old man was the victim of a poltergeist who was responsible for making rain inside the Ann Street home. The oily liquid defied gravity by coming up from the floors and out of the walls for days on end. In addition to causing the disturbing rain, the poltergeist physically attacked its victims. After one particularly disturbing attack, members of the Stroud Area Regional Police and religious officials were called onto the scene. The poltergeist activity eventually subsided. To this day, though, there is no scientific explanation for the events that took place. The experience was featured on both Unsolved Mysteries and 30 Most Mysterious Mysteries. The home that was a center for the demonic activity has since been demolished. East Stroudsburg University students have had their own experiences with the paranormal. Anna Reisler, a senior at ESU, believes that her family's home is haunted by the presence of a little girl. The house was built over 120 years ago. After several strange happenings in the home, the family called in a psychic who detected the presence of a 6 to 8-year-old girl. The psychic told that the little girl died there, says Reisler. Though the psychic did not sense any negative entities in the home, she blessed the house and windows to encourage the ghost of the little girl to move on. Reisler believes the spirit is still in their home. We can still hear her running up the stairs in the hallway. She's not a negative spirit, so it doesn't really bother us. ESU student Zach Myers reported an unsettling experience while driving along Institute Road in Mount Bethel. I felt a spirit pass right by my car, says Myers. It went right through it. Myers believes it was the spirit of a young man who was murdered by his older brother during a fight in 2006. The victim was killed in his childhood home on Institute Road. According to the coverage of the murder in the Morning Call, the body of the deceased was cut into pieces and scattered throughout the area. East Stroudsburg University is also believed to be the home of several spirits. The Fine and Performing Arts Center is reportedly haunted by an entity that has been described as ice cold. Rumor has it that the ghost of a girl named Sarah also haunts the building. According to local legend, she committed suicide there in the 1970s, but this could not be confirmed nevertheless. Sarah is believed responsible for several pranks in the theater, such as unplugging the stage lighting and causing technical glitches during performances. Other campus buildings are also suspected of hauntings. Kemp Library is reportedly home to the ghost of a black cat, and students have heard whispers in Abloff Center for the Performing Arts. The ghost of a young child who fell into an elevator shaft and died supposedly haunts Hawthorne Hall. Over the years, there have been several reports that the elevator opens and closes seemingly by itself. One student reported her own experience in Hawthorne Hall. I believe in ghosts, says the sophomore. During field hockey camp, we stayed in Hawthorne. There was a tile on the ceiling that kept moving at night. We fixed it every day, and by night it had moved again. Academic buildings at ESU, which was called East Stroudsburg State Teachers College at the time, are believed to have been used as makeshift morgues during the aftermath of the devastating flood of 1955. Original articles about the flood from the Easton Express, now the Express Times, confirm that city buildings, including schools, stored bodies until they could be identified throughout the East Stroudsburg area. Unfortunately, the Stroud Courier was unable to find a recording of exactly which buildings were used. While it cannot be confirmed that ESU buildings were used, many people believe that the spirits of those who died during the flood have haunted the halls of the academic buildings ever since. Though these ghostly hauntings at ESU and in the surrounding areas cannot be proven, reports of their existence are widespread and very consistent. While skeptics continue to hold out for proof, those who have experienced the supernatural know that's all the proof they need. But one thing is for certain, the next time you hear a bump in the night, you might just think twice. You're listening to Haunted Moments, and I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Theresa F. Koch.